welcome back then. The question being, can Manchester City pull back this goal before the end of normal time? Remember, there's no extra time in this cup final. If a replay is needed, it is later this month at Stoke. So welcome back then to Wembley Stadium. The question now being, can Manchester City pull back this goal? So welcome back then to Wembley Stadium. The question being, can Manchester City pull back this goal, which Wolves, I think, deservedly have gone into the lead before half-time with that goal by Hibbett, looking the more positive side, settling just a little quicker than Manchester City. And the ball went fractionally out of play there. Certainly Manchester City, here's Hibbett, the man who scored it. Certainly has plenty of experience in this Manchester City side. Indeed, 6 of them are surviving from the side that won the cup here, the League Cup in 1970. Pardo, Doyle, Somerby, Bell, Lee and Booth. So there's a fair bit of Wembley experience, and Rodney Marsh, of course, who played in the first cup final of all of the League Cup here at Wembley in 1967 and scored. Here's Towers, one of the more recent members of the Manchester City side. Donachie playing it in again for Marsh. But here's Somerby. And that time it was Hibbett getting it away, but only getting it away to Palmer, who could take no chances whatsoever, not at all sure where Donachie was. And so it's a throw now to Manchester City. Marsh coming for this one. Munro getting it away. So Donachie tries instead. That time it was Bailey out there. But here's Donachie again, and again Bailey coming in there. But still Donachie persisting and winning the corner. So a corner then to Manchester City. And every time they come forward, it's at that end where their supporters are massed, encouraging them. Booth has gone up for this one, taken by Somerby. Marsh is in there, but it's over the heads of them all. And Wagstaff now with the chance to make a quick break for Wolves. Dugan on ahead of him. And Doyle coming in hard on Dugan. Taking it to the corner flag. Yes, there was a rather wild kick in the back by Doyle on Dugan. And so Wolves now will get a free kick. Hibbett will take it. Dugan, Richards, Sunderland are in that Manchester City penalty area. There's Dugan. Hibbett now then with the free kick. A deep one again. Donachie and Richards hustling after this ball. So Bailey now will take the throw for Wolves. They'll be looking for a second goal to consolidate. Back for Sunderland. Here's for Palmer. Gone past Lee. Towers inching him out and making the angle impossible. Geoff Palmer only scored 1 goal this season, but it was a truly tremendous goal that he scored at Tottenham. Somerby in. Palmer away. Booth was up that time, and it'll fall for Rodney Marsh. Lee's pass inside, stopped again by John McCall. Munro. It's a growing confidence in this Wolves side now as Hibbett takes it up. Dugan coming away from Booth. Played this time for Derek Parkin. Wagstaff free away on the left. Here he is. He's given Pardo so much to think about this afternoon, and he's done it again. Beautiful play once more. Parkin to Bailey. Looking very composed at the moment, Wolves. Sunderland turning that one off nicely and accurately for Palmer. Played on nicely again for Sunderland to carry it on. And that time it was Bell who turned it away to Donachie. Now it's Lee. Lee and Bailey, which gives a free kick to Manchester City. Bill McGarry giving his instructions there from the bench, and I would have thought looking at his watch from time to time as this second half goes on, wondering whether his Wolverhampton underdogs can hold out this 1-0 lead. There's the pass from Wexler to Dugan again. Doyle coming across, Dugan trying to push it one side, run the other. That's a little optimistically. Parkin v Summerby. Bailey. And Monroe turning it back to Pearce. McCall. Parkin. Flicked on very nicely into a lot of space there for Hibbett, and Hibbett now attacking this Manchester City defence, looking for the second goal, but it hits Booth. Booth, just about the oldest journalistic cliche of all, is end-to-end play, but that really is what we've got with a vengeance this afternoon, as Summerby now takes it up for Manchester City. Did that cross the line? Apparently it didn't. And Towers now. Oh, and that was so close. From Tony Towers. Harry Pearce asking referee Dave Wallace which side the goal kick should be taken from, and it's the right-hand side of the goal. Neither side really noted for their defence, but it's the Wolves' defence that has looked the more composed, I think, with Monroe and McCall quite outstanding at the back. Dugan getting there first, but nodding it on only for Pardo. Here's Bell. A fairly anonymous sort of game so far, Colin Bell. Donachie. Lee. City at the moment have not really played up to their reputation. Parkin taking the ball, and I think a little aggrieved that a free kick's given against him. I think there is something to be said for his argument. But referee David Wallace didn't see it that way. He's given a free kick to Manchester City. Summerby and Pardo. It's Summerby, in fact, who takes it. And it was Palmer who got in there to nod it away for the corner now to Manchester City. And it's this sort of pressure they've got to keep on Wolves now, in the hope that they can find that one vital breakthrough. And it might be coming now. No, kicked away by Palmer. Owen Lee just over. What an escape again for the Wolves. First of all from Booth, and the shot cleared off the line. And then when it came back in again, Francis Lee just over. So it'll be goal kick, with Pearce taking it. And the pressure for the moment is on the Wolves. Dugan is up there. Hibbett. And now Wexler. Cup final that really has burst into life now in this second half. Good enough in the first, but really burst to life now as Bailey gets that one over. And Donachie battling away with Dugan. A foul by Dugan. Now it's Palmer. Donachie. Marsh. And now it's Pardo. Summerby. And now it's with Colin Bell. From Glyn Pardo. Richards hoping to get there first, but again Doyle was there and he's found Glyn Pardo. Doyle now picking up the loose one, finding Bell, a lot of space over on the left, and there's Donachie filling it. Across there towards Lowe. Booth pushing Dugan. Free kick then to Wolves. Quickly taken, and here's Parkin. No, taken just a little too quickly. So a free kick for Wolves. There'll be Wagstaff and Hibbett behind it. It's going to be Wagstaff. The little chip. Dugan is in there too, and McRae a safe catch. Somerby is up. Marsh is taking it up. Somerby taking on Palmer, beating him, and straight in the arms that time of Pearce. Through by Pearce that came straight to Wagstaff here. Sunderland spraying it about well at the moment, Wolves. Although you also get the impression that Manchester City have cut out a lot of the fancy frills of the first half and are looking a little more positive themselves. But a free kick at the moment to Wolves with 12 minutes of the second half gone. So a free kick, which Hibbett is going to take. Richards, Dugan, Sunderland there, Wagstaff on this far side. Dugan is probably the main target, although he ran across the goal and it was Richards who got the connection. But now Bell, volley. Somerby, a beautiful ball there from Francis Lee. Somerby versus Monroe. Throw for Manchester City. Marsh. Still with Marsh, the little cross, and again Pearce is there. Feeling much more at home now, Gary Pearce. Wagstaff in for Parkin. Bad ball. Tars. For Somerby. Law jockeying about for position there in the Wolves penalty area. Somerby now with time to make it a good cross as Law goes in again, and again Gary Pearce is there. Palmer. Dugan v Booth. And Booth getting a good defensive header in. Tars to Bell. Marsh. Booth. Donachie. Tars again. Played this time for Rodney Marsh. And he's got it in well. Oh, and this is a chance for Bell, and he's taken it, and that is 1-1. Rodney Marsh, the architect again, with all the cheek in the world on that far side, found the space, got in the cross, which beat them all and fell for Bell. And with a chance like that, he couldn't afford to make a mistake. 1-1. certainly City have looked a better side in this second half than they did in the first. Bailey, and Mike Bailey really has got to take a grip on it again for Wolves. Palmer, here comes the cross again, and McRae is behind it. By Munro on Francis Lee, and Munro is going to be blocked. Frank Munro, a stalwart in this Wolves defence throughout the first half and through the early minutes of this second half, goes into the book for that foul on Francis Lee. And now this 74 League Cup final really is on the ball. All the prophecies were that it was going to be a great final. The skills have certainly been there, and now we've got the goals as well as we stand at 1-1. McCall getting that one away, but not quite as he intended. And Somerby quite prepared to let that one go for the throw to Manchester City. Law, first to react, beating them all. And getting it in straight to Pearce. Cup final now that really is on a knife edge. Bailey, Hibbett playing it on for Sunderland, but beaten there by Willie Donachie. And here's Marsh again, really in his element. Little slice pass there to Donachie, who should keep that in, yes. Law. Now it's McCall. Palmer. Across towards John Richards. Oh, and that very nearly went for him. In goes McCall again. Superb game he's had. Doyle. All stopped by Bailey. Looked a little on the wild side, but I think probably it looked worse than it was. But again, a free kick. Good competitive game with a lot of skill to it, and always the feeling that just around the corner we're going to get more goals. So there we have the score. Bell for Manchester City, Hibbett for Wolves, 1-1. Booth with the free kick for Manchester City. Bell is right in there too. Here's Somerby. And in goes Pardo. And here's a chance for Marsh. And a save again by Gary Pearce. Marsh controlled that well because it was sliding at speed across that area. But equally well, Pearce was getting down. Always behind it. Munro will take the free kick. Dugan again as a target. Booth is certainly Dugan is closely on Dugan the whole time. Wagstaff really attacking Pardo, getting his crossover, and that was just over that time from Sunderland. Came just a little too fiercely for the youngster. So a goal kick. Push by Hibbett on Bell, free kick to Manchester City. Doyle with a long free kick there towards Summerby, but it goes off Parkin instead. And while Summerby was looking around, Parkin got it away, but only as far as Pardo. Here's the pass now to Towers. Versus Bailey. Pardo, played for Summerby. And in goes Pearce again making a good safe catch for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bailey now to Sunderland Sunderland as Wolves come sweeping forward. Hibbett. Donachie cutting that one out. Hibbett again, played for Bailey. Got Palmer free on the right, and he spotted him. Well, down the wing, but nobody was there. Summerby versus Parkin. And Law to Bell. Beaten by Wagstaff. Parkin there, beating Law again and finding Sunderland. Now there's an opening for Wolves, developing down this right as Hibbett takes it up. Dugan's made the run down there for them. Booth has gone with him. Still with Dugan, into the path of Hibbett this time. Now can Hibbett get a shot in again? It was Bell who had to come right back there. Oh, and pressed it off the line by Doyle. But there was a foul that time by the number 9, John Richards, on Keith McRae. And some nerve showing there as well. Pardo now for Manchester City. Summerby. Bell. Donachie forward, stopped there by Palmer. Oh, and Hibbett wasn't watching. Saw Bill McGarry put his hands to his head then. And here's Francis Lee now for Manchester City. The chip on over the top there. Oh, and Pearce was put in a perilous position there. It looked for a long time as though that was going to drop over his head, and he just lifted himself, all 6'2" of him, just to turn it over. For a corner then to Manchester City. Summerby again taking it. Booth is right in there once more. Bell is in there too. Oh, and again Pearce has done it. Well, they had doubts about this fella, 23 years old today, 6 months ago in the reserves of Huddersfield, and playing only his 14th first-team game for Wolves. They thought he might be a weak link, but he hasn't been so far. Parkin at the near post. City putting on the pressure now. Summerby with the corner. Marsh was waiting there too. And in goes Pearce again with a foot. And it was Tony Towers who puts it well wide. So Pearce has got a lot to remember on his birthday. Certainly had no chance at all with the goal scored for Manchester City by Colin Bell. And certainly a much more relieved look on that Manchester City bench there with Ron Saunders, and on the left of the picture is Tony Book, and there's the rather anxious look on the Wolves' faces. Summerby. Manchester City now beginning to get in their stride, although there are times when they've been coming forward when Wolves still have looked very dangerous. Parkin. Played for Wagstaff. Tricking Pardo beautifully there, but that little chip, almost a little golfer's chip there, but it didn't quite come off for him, and Wagstaff, very keen golfer. Well, that's a free kick given against Tommy Booth for the push on Derek Dugan. Free kick to Wolves. 20 minutes now to go. And nothing to choose between the two sides since Colin Bell has equalised for Manchester City. And Booth is going to be booked, I think. No, he maybe not. He's escaped, and only just escaped. It was throwing the ball away. John Richards had very little leeway when he's gone forward so far this afternoon, but he's always on the hunt for goals, and there's Richards looking for that one. But again, it was Booth who got above him, and here's Towers to Marsh. Lee really streaking down the left. Back again for Rodney Marsh. This is a lovely Manchester City move, and it's broken down with two City players down for a moment on the edge of the area. Procedure when anyone goes down injured, in case they have to come off, that at least the player is warmed up. Sure, the Duchess of Kent is enjoying this game as much as anybody here. There is Sir Matt Busby at the back there with the pipe. Well, it's a day away from the cares of Manchester United for him. And I think he's well pleased to see his great old favourite Denis Law back here in action. Although, in all honesty, Denis has not done too much to warm his heart so far. Marsh is all right. And here is Rodney Marsh. Well, it's a free kick to Manchester City. But it's only going to be taken when Frank Monroe is prepared to release the ball. And as Monroe's already had his name taken, it might be a little dangerous to do that too often. Bailey watching Marsh. Summerby with the free kick. Again, it's a little chip as Law goes in, and Frank Monroe was there to beat it away. Only as far as Summerby dinked in once more, and three Wolves players lining up to get that one away. And just a fraction too high for Lee. Certainly Lee has shown so much of his old spring here this afternoon, considering he's been out of the game for nearly a month with that knee ligament trouble. So Pearce with the goal kick. Booth, Dugan, Donachie, Marsh, touch for Donachie. A goal, and now it's Palmer. Stopped by Booth, Marsh again. Glyn Pardoe. Towers, Donachie on the far side. City looking so much better now than they did earlier in this game. Summerby across. Thought for a moment that was going to be a fraction too high for Parky, but he lifted himself just enough to get the contact. And here's Sunderland now. 4 Wolves. Dugan and Richards up ahead of him. That's the ball that he'll hope will put Richards in behind. Doyle marking hard, but not quite hard enough there because he finds Wagstaff. Still with David Wagstaff. Too deep the cross. It's still not out of play. Donachie. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. And here's Hibbett, brought down by Donachie. Free kick. Manchester City, one or two of the players thought that was a dive. If anything, it looked to me rather like a late and desperate piece of work by Donachie. Palmer with the cross, Doyle with the header away. Law, Bell following up quickly. Well, a real up and under there, seeing what Marsh can make of it. But he's got to get possession of it first, and it bounced awkwardly from Monroe, went off his elbow, and so that's a free kick for Manchester City. They've taken it already, and here's Marsh. Played for Summerby. Hit low this time, and again Pearce is there. Donachie playing head tennis there with Booth and using Dugan as the net. An offside decision given by the linesman on the far side against Denis Law. Free kick to Wolves, exactly a quarter of an hour to go. Still 1-1. Sunderland now for Wolves. To Wagstaff. Pardo closing very quickly on Wagstaff. Bailey. A little chip there, but I think it'll come for Pardo. Hibbett, much more competitive in that situation than Rodney Marsh. And a handball given. No, it wasn't a handball, it was a push in the back on ball. A little bit of a lull in the game at the moment. Maybe that means that we're going to get a furious crescendo as the sides are still level as we come to the last quarter of an hour. Free kick now to Manchester City. Lee will take it. Law is in there, so too is Bell. Well, Lee won't take it. Summerby will instead. And Lee has gone in there wanting the short ball stabbed forward, but Summerby prefers to find Denis Law. Corkscrew header of his going about a couple of yards too high. Wolves substitute Barry Powell is warming up now. So Dugan now trying to get Richards away. Booth to Towers. A long ball towards Summerby. Parkin is there with him. Palmer is covering. Sunderland again. Back for Palmer. Dugan. Munro to McCall. Wagstaff. Bell was backing off him, and here's Bailey. Seeking out Palmer. Well, that'll still fall for Alan Sunderland there for Wolves. Socks about his ankles now, and I think the toll of this Wembley turf is being felt there by Alan Sunderland. Corner to Wolves. McRae, who's had so little to do in this second half. Pardo, the number 2. Dugan and Donachie. Frank Munro is in there as well, just on the edge of that area. But here's Palmer now for Wolves. Goal kick. Parkin getting it away, so it's a throw to Manchester City. Summerby to Bell. Parkin cutting that one out, but a throw again to Manchester City. The only time these two sides have met previously in the League Cup was in 71-72, and that finished 4-3 to Manchester City. I don't think we're going to get quite that goal storm today, standing at 1-1 still. Bailey looking around, McCall is there too, and finally they get themselves out of a little troublesome spot there by finding Parkin. Bell cutting that out beautifully. But a throw for Wolves. Bailey. Embarrassed there by Bell, but Bailey keeping his head, keeping the ball, and finding Sunderland. Forward now for Dugan. taken by Booth, free kick without any doubt at all. Now here's Sunderland. Sunderland looking so tired, and he really couldn't make any impact there against Colin Bell, and Donaghy can bring it away. Munro's header, Bailey. Now it's Sunderland again. This time it's Wagstaff on the far side. Oh, and he pulled a muscle as he ran there, Wagstaff. So he's in a lot of trouble. He's off the pitch, and so the game will go on, and Wolves are down to 10 men. The substitute has been warming up, Barry Powell, and I'm sure he'll come on now. But whether it was Wagstaff they wanted substituted, that we don't know. It could be a bit of a blow there for Wolves. Lee for Manchester City. A little chip in again, and not a very good one. So getting his orders from Bill McGarry as to what Mr. McGarry wants him to do. Towers. Pardo. Wolves still down to 10 men with Wagstaff on and the substitute Wagstaff off and the substitute still not on. Here's Summerby, played this time for Bell. Still with Bell. Oh, and he hit the crossbar! Well, Colin Bell nearly added his second goal, and the second for City there, which might well have wrapped it up. Sheer power of that shot, beating Pearce, smacking against the crossbar. Now it's Bailey, forward for Richards. But Doyle has been quite relentless in his marking. And I'm not sure whether he's got a corner there, but the substitute coming on now for Wolves. Barry Powell coming on for Wolves. And I think Bill McGarry is saying he wants somebody else off. He doesn't want Wagstaff off, but surely that can't be so, because Wagstaff is really hobbling on that far side. Now it'll be Wagstaff who stays off. Powell who comes on. With orders from the bench. And Wolves with the corner now. Dugan is in there, so too are the fists of McRae. Lee, and now it's Towers with his socks about his ankles. Law, bubbling as ever. By that time it was Munro getting it back to Pearce. It's McCall. Dugan. And now it's Bailey. Hibbett. 7 minutes to go. Powell, virtually his first touch, being challenged all the way. Fairly painful first touch it was too. Challenged just a little too fiercely there by Colin Bell. Here's Hibbett now, with a chance to cross it. Dugan going in on it. And it's finally Towers who puts it behind for the corner to Wolves. And so although it's Manchester City who's had most of this second half, it's Wolves who've come back now in the last few minutes. Still standing at 1-1. Hibbett again with a corner. Dugan again at the near post. Munro again up there. Munro having it knocked off the top of his head there by Tommy Booth. Here's Bailey. Crossed in again for Sunderland. And now it's a chance for Richards. Oh, and he's got it! John Richards! 2-1 to Wolves. 6 minutes to go. And as the ball came over from the right, with Alan Sunderland there in possession, it fell nicely for Richards. And my goodness, how he hammered it in. 2-1 to Wolves. Well, John Richards, who had a bad start to the season when nothing seemed to go right for him. He had an ankle injury, and that gave him another fortnight's rest, and since he came back from that in November time, he's hardly stopped scoring, and that now is number 18 in the season for him. and maybe the most valuable of all. So Wolves now, as that really was just a little too fierce, that challenge by John McCall. Just a little bit of a glow settling there on that Wolves bench. I would think they know they've got 5 minutes to hold out. So City are really snapping back now, and they need to with 4 minutes left. Parkin, the poor lad who had this what felt was a heart disorder a year or so ago, but it didn't turn out to be that way. He thought his football life was over. There's again Gary Pearce saving well in his own 6-yard area. But things have gone better now for Derek Parkin, and they're going beautifully at the moment for Wolves. 3 minutes are left. Dugan there with a header. Pardo, Bailey, Powell, and now Richards, the man who scored the goal that could be the winner. Pardo, or rather Parkin forward for Dugan, a man who still hasn't a winner's medal to show for all that he's done in the game. But now Dugan with this free kick knows that Wolves maybe are just a matter of 3 minutes away. But with the skill there is in this Manchester City side, no one would dare say it's all over yet. But Parkin now will take this free kick. Played there straight for Powell, hit first time and wide. In any case, Richards was offside. 2 minutes now to go. Bailey's header. Richards. Another lovely swift turn there by Richards, but that time there were 3 City players on him. There was a foul against him. A few more seconds have gone and Wolves get another free kick. So there's a fair bit of looking at watches going up in that part of the crowd now, I would think. Donachie and Dugan. Parkin, a long, ambitious shot. And it's with Marsh. Can Manchester City yet produce a magical moment that will save this cup final for them? Not with a pass like that, because McCall, who's hardly let anything past him, stops Law again. Sunderland. In comes Booth. Powell to Parkin. And now for Richards. 1 minute to go plus injury time. Richards watched by Doyle. Still with Richards, eating up seconds, and Doyle has to be positive, even though he concedes the throw. Barry Powell will take the throw. Half a minute now to go. Goal kick. McRae wanting to take it quickly. Away with Donachie on the far side. Some aching limbs out there now, and there are going to be a few aching hearts in a minute or so, unless Manchester City can pull back an equaliser. Donachie as we go into injury time. foul by Francis Lee gives Wolves a free kick. And the physiotherapist for Wolves and Semi Chung both being sent away from the bench. Or sent away to the bench, rather, from the touchline. Mike Bailey, inspirational this afternoon as a skipper. Number 4 with the free kick for Wolves. Dugan again is waiting in that City area. We've had nearly a minute of injury time. Dugan is there again. Booth who gets up. Foul by Dugan on McRae. Semi Chung is saying, keep pushing forward, don't drop back. But now they might have to drop back as City take it up again, but that wasn't a particularly good ball. Parking away. Anywhere, say Wolves, to get away from that danger area, to preserve that 2-1 lead. Played over a minute of injury time. McCall, will he pass back? No, he'll put it where it's safe. That's another throw then to Manchester City. Just a matter of seconds are left now as Doyle hits another long ball there. Law was in there, and Parkin can get it away. The whistle is gone, and Wolves have won. Dugan after years of trying, and Bailey after years of trying. Phil McGarry after years of trying. They've won at last, and Gary Pearce on his 23rd birthday can't believe what's happened to him. The man they said would be a weakness has turned out to be a strength, and Wolves have won the League Cup. McGarry, who shows so little emotion, and that means it all. He knows the part that Gary Pearce has played, and that shows all the emotion of a winning cup final. 1960 was the last time that Wolverhampton Wanderers won a major trophy, and now they've won another that sees them in Europe next year. The man who's made it really has been, oh, there's a great shot there, Phil Parkes, the goalkeeper who would have played but for injury, and Gary Pearce, the man who took his place and really excelled himself. Manchester City, who came here as favourites, dreadfully disappointed, and Willie Donaghy sums it all up there. Derek Dugan, not one of his greatest games, but one I'm sure he'll always remember. As he said, when you finish playing, people say to you, what have you won? And at last he can say, well, I've won something. John Richards, the man who scored the winner. Dugan there with Derek Parkin. And there's nobody happier in the world of football than Gary Pearce. So poor Ron Saunders in the brown coat there, a man who brought Norwich here last year, and they lost. He's brought Manchester City here, and they lost to us. Mike Summerby now. So Mike Summerby takes his Manchester City side up the steps towards the Royal Box. The losers go up first in the League Cup final to get their losers' medals. But they too contributed to a very good cup final indeed. Getting their tankards from Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Kent, being congratulated to by His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent. Summerby followed by Keith McRae. No chance with either of those two goals. Willie Donaghy and Francis Lee, who came back from injury. Tony Towers and the irrepressible Dennis Law. Tommy Boo and Mike Doyle, who did a grand job at the back in defence. Glyn Pardo, Frank Karras, the substitute, and Colin Bell. But up go the Wolves now, the winners on the day, led by their skipper Mike Bailey. Of Kent. And who knows, it could be the start of a whole new era for football. ball at Wolverhampton. Back to Morris. To John Ireland, the chairman of Wolves, nobody more delighted than he. He's seen some thin times with Wolves, so too has Bill McGarry, but now it's all beginning to blossom for them. David Wagstaff behind him. When you think of the years he's had in the game without any really tangible reward, and here's Gary Pearce, Frank Monroe wearing Dennis Law's shirt, Alan Sunderland and John Richards, the man who scored the winner. John McCall quite magnificent in defence. Derek Dugan hugging his chairman there. And Jeff Palmer, the fullback. They've really all played superbly as a team. Kenny Hibbett, who scored the first goal. To Dave Wallace, the referee from Crewe. He and his two linesmen worked well also as a team, kept it running smoothly. Mike Bailey with the cup. And a good sporting gesture there from Manchester City, applauding the winners, Wolves, on the day. Well, he didn't forget much, but he forgot his boots there. National anthem again. Smiles are wide now as Wolves will begin their lap of honour. The losers going off, always one of the saddest sides, although there's enough light-heartedness in the Manchester City side for it not to worry them too much. They'll recover. Well, that's about the only time Wolves have let their skipper down today. He doesn't need any prompting for the photographer.
I mean, the 7 years I've had at Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's been like a honeymoon. I think, and that's sort of reflected in my play. I only wish really I had had the old legs about 7 years ago and said it today, but it's certainly worth waiting for. And I did say to you that it would be a good spectacle. I thought it was a good advert for the game. And when I saw Malcolm Allison tip Manchester City, and I knew we got a great chance. And plus the fact, how can the leading coach in the country say that Francis Lee, who's been out for 4 weeks, be the man of the match? I thought maybe if he had plumped from Mike Summerbee, it'd have been probably a little bit more on target.
Tell me, who do you think was the man of the match?
Well, I honestly felt really that a lot of our youngsters did a fine job, but Gary Pearce, undoubtedly, he played exactly like that at Manchester United last week in the league match, saved the penalty kick. I've said to Phil Parkes and Gary Pearce, if they come for crosses, they could rate with the best of them, but that's the difference between a good goalkeeper and a mediocre goalkeeper, is coming and getting them, Brian. It's like strikers. If they don't stick their head in where the boots are flying, they'll never score goals, and it's the same thing with goalkeepers. And I thought really dominated the penalty area, and I'm delighted. I mean, obviously that kid now, 14 games, he's got a major honour. It's fantastic. He's had 14 games. I've had 17 years to wait. That's how it works out in football.
But even after 17 years, what is winning at Wembley like?
Well, Mike Bailey, really, he summed it up in the bath. He said that's what it's all about. You get guys who play years and years and years in the game, and they never experience that. Just the walking out on the turf, seeing 100,000 sea of faces is a fabulous spectacle. It gets you inside, and you realise that all the sweat, toil and tears is worth it. And I would personally soldier on another 17 years if I thought that was at the end of it. It's a wonderful feeling.
Would you say it's the greatest moment of your career?
No, really speaking, the greatest moment of my career personally for me, because football's a team game. I think the greatest moment for me was when I was made chairman of the Professional Footballers Association 4 years ago. But in footballing terms, obviously it makes up for the 14 years ago when I was on a losing side. I know what it's like to be on a losing side at Wembley. The other fellas haven't experienced that, only Jimmy McCalliog. And I was talking to Dennis Law and Mike Summerbee, and I think that they were delighted really for us to win that. And when you see football played in that spirit, if only the supporters could see the what shall we say, the enthusiasm from the Manchester City afterwards for our team, it was a wonderful sight. And I really do believe that there's an awful lot of good feeling in football amongst footballers, contrary to what you read in the media.
See you in 17 years' time at Wembley?
I doubt it. As a spectator, yes.
Well done, Derek.
Thanks very much, Brian. Thanks very much.
But what's your reaction now, the day after winning at Wembley?
Well, I'm very thankful, to be quite truthful, because had I have not won yesterday, that I think I would have been wasting my time to stay in football.
Really?
I think that I've been trying to win things so long now that, and also in my playing career, I didn't win anything. I played about 600 games and never won a thing. And I've been in 2 semi-finals and a final and haven't won anything. And I thought, well, if I don't win this cup today, then I think I'll pack my bags and go to South Africa somewhere out of the way.
You really believe that in all seriousness?
Well, I think, you know, that you get riddled with this thing, oh, he's a loser, and I think if I'd have got the sack from Wolverhampton, nobody would have employed me, because I wasn't going to win anything anyway, to be quite truthful with you.
Bill McGarry, you're a winner now, and thank you very much for coming to the studio today.
Thank you for having me.